disappearance kind of brings all those old feelings back to the surface.
It reopens old wounds, and it makes everyone start to wonder, are these two disappearances connected somehow?
Yeah, it's like, can lightning strike twice in the same place?
Right. Like, is there something about this place that's dangerous, or is there something darker going on?
And then there's this local rumor that's been circulating for years.
Welcome to Witter. Who Has Time to Read? The podcast that brings deep dives for busy minds. Listen to AI hosts Jane and Dane and get ready to unpack the world's most captivating books in just a fraction of the time. Whether commuting, working out, or just squeezing in a quick break, we deliver key insights, thought-provoking themes, and takeaways you can carry into your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Plus, use our links in the description to purchase this book. Your support helps us bring more engaging book discussions to you. Listen and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Who has time to read? You do, with Witter.
All right, so welcome to Witter.
Wigger.
The podcast that takes these deep dives for busy minds.
Deep dives.
Into, the books that everyone's talking about, and we do the work so you don't have to.
That's right.
So today we are diving deep into The God of the Woods by Liz Moore.
Oh, yeah. This is a really good one.
Yeah. Have you read this one?
Oh, I have. And this one really stuck with me. It's really immersive.
Really?
Yeah. Like Moore really, I think, does a great job with the setting. The Adirondacks in the summer of 75.
Wow.
It's like you're right there, at the summer camp. You can really feel the atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the summer camp, Camp Emerson, right? Mm. That's the main stage for this whole drama. And this is a summer where the past is very much alive in the present.
Yeah, very much so.
So we've got this disappearance of this 13-year-old camper, Barbara Van Laar, which is creepy enough on its own. But then you've got this other mystery kind of hanging over everything, which is the disappearance of Bear Van Laar, who was the son of the camp's owners. And he went missing years before. And it just, casts a shadow over the whole story. Or like a double dose of mystery and unease.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's so cool about Moore's writing is she gives us all these different perspectives. So we're seeing the same incidents through Louise's eyes. She's part of the camp staff, but she's also got her own stuff going on.
Okay.
Then there's Tracy. She's a young camper, but she's super observant.
Oh, wow.
And then we have Judy Heido-Luptak. She's the investigator for the state police trying to unravel the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And then you get glimpses into the Van Laar family themselves.
Okay, so a lot of different viewpoints in this book.
A lot of different viewpoints, and you really get the sense that everybody's holding something back.
Oh, interesting. So let's start with the most obvious puzzle. Mm-hmm. Barbara's disappearance. So she comes across as this pretty mature 13-year-old. I mean, she seems like, she's seen a few things in life.
Yeah, she's not naive.
Not a naive kid. And she forms this bond with Tracy, who is much more introverted and quiet.
Yeah, like a classic odd couple kind of friendship.
Right. And one of the things that jumps out about Barbara is that she's constantly pushing the boundaries. Mm-hmm. She's not just like, a typical camper following all the rules.
She's a rule breaker.
A rule breaker. And we learned pretty quickly that she's been sneaking out at night.
Yeah. And she tells Tracy about it.
Okay, so she confides in Tracy.
She does, which makes you wonder, what else is she hiding, right?
Totally. So when she vanishes one morning, it's like all those rule-breaking moments kind of take on this whole new meaning.
Right. It's not just, a kid wandered off into the woods.
Exactly.
There's something more there.
Yeah, there's got to be something more to it. So, it's the moment they find her empty bed, the whole atmosphere at the camp shifts.
You can feel the tension.
Right. And for Louise and TJ, who's the camp director,
right,
it's this huge weight of responsibility because these are their kids in a sense.
Yeah, they feel responsible.
And then the local authorities, they get involved pretty quickly, including Judy Heido-Luptak, the state investigator.
Right. She's called in.
And it's like, okay, this is serious.
Yeah, this is not a kid who just wandered off. This is a full-blown investigation.
So we have this immediate crisis of Barbara's disappearance.
Right.
But then there's this other unresolved disappearance kind of hovering in the background, which is Bear Van Laar's disappearance.
Right. And this happened years ago, but it's like this open wound for everyone, especially for his mother, Alice.
Okay, so this is a family that has been through it.
Oh, absolutely. They haven't recovered.
So yeah, so it's almost like Barbara's disappearance kind of brings all those old feelings back to the surface.
It reopens old wounds, and it makes everyone start to wonder, are these two disappearances connected somehow?
Yeah, it's like, can lightning strike twice in the same place?
Right. Like, Is there something about this place that's dangerous, or is there something darker going on?
And then there's this local rumor that's been circulating for years connecting Bear's disappearance to Carl Stoddard, who was the camp groundskeeper, and also TJ's father.
Oh, wow. Adding another layer to this whole thing.
It's like a family affair, but not in a good way.
No, not at all. And so for Judy, the investigator, she's not just dealing with one missing person case, but two.
Wow.
Two cases separated by time, but connected by this place and these families.
So it's a puzzle within a puzzle.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating challenge for her.
So Liz Moore does this really cool thing where she lets us see things from different characters' perspectives.
Yeah, like we were saying before.
And I think it's really effective because, we get to see Louise, who's not just a camp counselor. She's got her own complicated history.
Right. She's got her own baggage.
Yeah, her own baggage. And
Right.
she's got this, this whole relationship with TJ that's kind of messy.
And then there's her connection to Lee Towson.
Right. It's like all these personal things going on alongside this big mystery.
And then seeing everything through Tracy's eyes is really interesting, too, because she's young, but she picks up on everything.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She's observing the other campers, the adults. She sees things that the adults miss.
Wow, that's kind of creepy.
It is a little bit. And her friendship with Barbara, it gives her this kind of insider view of all this risky behavior and secrecy.
So she's like a little detective in her own way.
Yeah, she is.
And then we have Judy, the investigator, who's coming into this community from the outside.
Yeah, she's the outsider looking in.
And she's trying to make sense of it all.
And she's interacting with the Van Laar family, who are wealthy and powerful and used to getting their own way.
Oh, so they're not going to be super helpful.
No, not necessarily. And then there's the whole community of Shattuck that's very close-knit and has its own secrets.
So she's really got her work cut out for her.
She does. And as she investigates, she starts uncovering this, history between the Van Laars and the Hewitt family, which is TJ and her father, Vic. And there's this tension between them, this sense that they're bound together by something in the past.
Yeah. So this whole web of relationships, it's really important to understanding what's actually going on.
Absolutely.
So there are these big themes that run through the book, right? Like family secrets responsibility.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
And the Van Laar family, they're right at the center of it all.
Yeah, they are.
They're wealthy, they're influential, and they're definitely holding on to some secrets.
Definitely. And we see how all of that affects their relationships, especially between Alice and Peter, the parents.
Oh, so there's some marital strife in there too.
Yeah, it's a complicated family dynamic.
And responsibility is another big theme, right? Like who's responsible for what?
Exactly. And you see it everywhere.
So where do we see it?
Well, you see it with the camp staff. They're responsible for the safety of the kids.
Ugh.
You see it with the parents. They're responsible for their children.
Right.
And even the community itself, there's this sense of collective responsibility.
Oh, wow. So it's like this weight that everyone is carrying around.
It is. And then, of course, there are the secrets.
The secrets that are just eating away at everyone.
And the biggest secret of all is what really happened to Bear.
Right. That's the big one. And then there's Victor Hewitt, TJ's father, who was involved in covering up the truth about Bear's death at the request of the Van Laars.
Yeah. And that decision, it has repercussions for years and years.
Right. Like it's this ripple effect that just keeps going.
And it makes you think about, how far would you go to protect someone?
Right. Is there ever a good reason to hide the truth?
Especially when it involves something as serious as a death.
Yeah. So we're dealing with some heavy stuff here.
We are, but Moore does a great job of showing the different sides of it.
Okay. So it's not just black and white.
Not at all. The Van Laars had their reasons for wanting to keep things quiet. They wanted to protect Alice from more pain.
Okay.
And the Hewitts, they depended on the Van Laars for their livelihood.
Right.
So they felt like they had to go along with it.
So everyone's kind of trapped in this situation.
They are, but it doesn't excuse what happened. It just makes it more complicated.
Yeah. So there are no easy answers here.
No, there aren't.
So eventually we do get some answers about what happened to Bear.
We do. His remains are found, and a man named Jacob Sluter, who has a history of violence, confesses to killing him.
Oh, wow. So it was a random encounter.
It seems that way, but the resolution for Barbara's disappearance is totally different.
Okay. So what happens with Barbara?
Turns out she ran away.
Oh, she ran away.
On purpose.
On purpose?
Yeah, and she had help from TJ.
Wow. So TJ was in on it.
She was, and her reasons are really interesting.
Okay. So what are her reasons?
Well, she seems to be acting out of empathy. She wants to protect Barbara from something.
That's interesting.
And knowing her family's history with the Van Laars, you can see how she might feel like she needs to do things differently this time.
Right, like break the cycle.
Exactly. And we also find out that John Paul McClellan, who was a suspect for a while, had an alibi provided by Annabelle Southworth.
Oh, wow. So the wealthy really do protect their own.
It seems that way.
So in a way, the Hewitts, by helping Barbara, they're kind of trying to make up for their past mistakes.
Yeah, you could see it as a form of redemption.
Right. They're trying to do the right thing, even if it means taking a risk.
And it shows how the past, it can really have a hold on us.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
it shapes our choices even years later.
Yeah, and there's this scene at the end with Barbara on the island in Lake Joan that's really powerful.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
She's alone on this island, surrounded by nature, and it feels like a moment of escape for her.
Okay.
Like she's finally free from all the secrets and the drama.
Yeah, she's found a little bit of peace.
And I think it's a powerful image of how nature can be a source of healing and renewal.
Yeah, so when you finish The God of the Woods, you're left thinking about all these things, right? Like the relationships, the secrets, the idea of responsibility and what it means to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
And makes you wonder, like, what are the consequences of keeping secrets?
Right, and not just for individuals, but for whole communities.
And how does the past continue to shape our present?
Yeah, are we ever really free from it?
And what does it really mean to be responsible for each other?
Yeah, that's a big one.
So this book, it's really thought-provoking.
It is, and it shows how truth can be so subjective.
Right. Like, everyone sees things differently.
And to really understand a situation, you have to consider all those different perspectives.
And that's what we try to do here at Witter.
Give you those deep dives into these fascinating stories,
Even when you don't have a lot of time.
so you can keep pondering those deeper connections.
Until next time.
Until next time.